Open this gate.
Yeah.
So in 2019, you went first time.
Yes.
From where to where, and how long it took?
So I started in Porto, which is northern Portugal, and then
Yes.
I walked to Fisterra, which is, so you go to Santiago, but then there is like 90 or 100 kilometers more, and you go all the way to Fisterra,
Yes, I know.
which literally translates to end of the world.
Murcia, Fisterra?
Murcia?
Yeah,
Fisterra,
Murcia,
yeah.
Fisterra.
But I didn't go to Murcia, I just went to Fisterra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it was
But you went also to Santiago first, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
So it's called, what's it called? It's called Camino Portuguese or something?
Yes. That
So
was the first one.
How many kilometers you did in total?
All in all, roughly 400.
Just 400?
Just 400, yeah.
No, I just thought it's a little bit longer.
No.
Oh, okay.
I think if you start in Lisbon, then you add in like 150 or 200 more.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay, makes sense. And how many days it took? These 400
I
kilometers?
walked for 14 days, and my total travel days were 18. So I also had some days off where I just didn't do anything.
Also that?
Huh?
How many days you were off?
4 days.
4 days?
Yeah.
That's nice.
It was, but it was because
Luxury.
I had 1 day off while doing the hike from Porto to Santiago.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had 2 days off in Santiago before I was like, I still had a couple of days more before my flight home. And I didn't want to stay in Santiago, so I was like, I'm going to go to Fisterra. And then that will be the end of my Camino. So it was kind of on a whim, the last 100 kilometers. Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm thinking or planning or I don't know, trying to go the Frances way from Pirineos to Camino de Santiago, and it's of course not enough time to go to the end of the world.
No.
So I will just finish in that, and maybe if everything is okay, maybe next time, I don't know when, I would kind of want to go.
Yeah.
One more, maybe Portuguese way, maybe some other, and find time to go to the
Yeah.
end of the world. That would be nice. How many days it took you from Santiago to the?
3.5. So I walked 30 kilometers in like 3 days, and then the last day I walked, 7 kilometers in the morning. And so I was in Fisterra as the sun was getting up, and when I started my hike there were still stars out, and it was so beautiful. And it was also just knowing that, okay, in like 5 kilometers or in 2 kilometers it's gonna be completely over, and I have to get a flight home the next day.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
so it was a little bit stressful in that way.
No, it wasn't stressful. It was more sad, depressing,
Okay.
empty mostly. Because it's not feeling sad, it's not feeling depressed, it's just feeling nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's how also when I read Santiago, it was just, okay, is that it? I'm not sure what I
Really?
was expecting.
Really?
But it wasn't that feeling of, oh my goodness, I did it. It was just, okay.
But maybe it was too short. You know, maybe
Yeah.
it's just because it was just 2 weeks and it was
Exactly.
not enough to.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know either. So this time I'm going for like a month, which I'm really excited about.
And now you are going the north way.
The
right?
Norway, yeah. Hopefully, if things decides to stay
Why
open.
you don't wanted to go Frances way? I mean, it's the most popular in. I mean, infrastructure is the best,
Yeah.
and why not that one?
Because it doesn't call to me.
No,
Yeah, it's
too many people, or
just not as heartfelt. So I have been praying about it and meditating over it, and it's more the sense of, okay, Northway is where we start, and if the infrastructure is too bad during Corona, I can always cross over to the French way.
yeah, but these times now it's a little bit more difficult to
Yeah.
to guess. But I know people who are going onto the Frances. I mean, I choose the Frances as a easy option because infrastructure is so good and so many people
Yeah,
cannot go wrong, you know, or cannot go so bad.
but neither can the Northway, because the Camino provides. I remember one day, the only day I had booked a hostel ahead of time, and I still had 7 more kilometers to go, but I was so tired. I was like, I'm not gonna walk the last 7 kilometers. And then 2 kilometers after thinking that, another Alberg's Pilgrims Hostel showed up. And I slept inside of a monastery for the first and only time in my life. It was so amazing. And it was exactly where I was supposed to spend the night. So try not to plan too much. You'll just ruin it for yourself, most likely.
Yeah, I'm really bad in that sense.
Yeah.
By planning too much. I also have a Excel spreadsheet for every situation in my life. I can show you my
Wow.
also Camino spreadsheet. I'm not surprised of myself, of course. But that's the one of reasons I actually want to go.
Yeah.
To drop yourself somehow out of the not comfort zone, but just to change the attitude, just to get into a situation where you cannot plan too much.
Yeah.
Where you just basically everything you need is just walking. And not overthinking.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons. What's your reason? I mean, why you did it first time?
I don't know.
You should know. I mean,
People always go,
deep.
it's the most boring answer ever, I feel like. But people asked me, so why did you do it? And also this time, I haven't told a lot of people because of Corona. I'm like, if I don't go, I have to be at peace with that. And if I tell everybody, I'm definitely going, and then I don't go, then it's I'll be so sad myself. But the thing is, I'm not particularly religious. Yet I still am.
So it's not religion.
No. It's just because why not?
It's never one answer, right? I mean,
Exactly.
when I'm doing same with a podcast, when you asked and you was not the first and probably not the last.
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing that? It's like, it's no one answer.
Yeah.
Because it's always more complicated and somehow many things involved. Same here with Camino, I think. It's at one point in your life you probably get, I don't know, stressed too much or something, and you say, fuck it, I will just go now. But in the first place, you should came to this idea before you got fucked up in your head. I mean,
yes, good point.
Your head, maybe it was some situation like which was detonating that idea, but the seed was seeded before.
Yes.
And why?
Because I used to do karate, and I was taught.
Okay.
I was taught by my sensei, who is his name is Carsten in Esbjerg Karate Club. He's absolutely amazing, and he actually never did a Camino, but a lot of the students at the club did, and they all spoke so highly of it. And I just thought to myself, okay, why not? So first I did coast to coast here in Denmark, where you walk from Vejle to Blåvand. And I liked that. That was roughly 100 kilometers for me. And then I thought to myself, okay, if I can walk 100, how much worse can it be to
walk 1,000 or 500?
Yes, exactly.
That was actually one of my prepared questions. Did some training for that?
I do now. I have been hiking a lot with my backpack, because I remember the last time I did it, in the beginning, it was very hard for my core, and my hips would be super painful and tight. So I've been walking here, like small hills and stuff at home, and walking for 2 or 3 hours with a lot
Every day?
No, like 5 times a week, because you also need some days where
But that's a lot. I mean.
Yeah, but because it started like 3 weeks ago with doing that, now it feels way less. Yeah. So now it's...
I just had some kind of break. But before I was like going a whole year, every day, 1.5, 2 hours a day. Max 2 hours, not more. And I don't know if it's enough, but it's also, it's not easy to find so much time to walk. Like, what are you doing after work? I'm walking.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Walking. Okay. It even sounds stupid, but...
Not really. I meditate for 40 minutes, like 5 times a week. And my mom, she says to me, okay, that's crazy. Why would you do that?
But 40 minutes in a row?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's long.
And when my mom asked me, that's a lot of time. Why would you do that? It's kind of like, how much time do you spend on Facebook or Instagram? you know.
And you can check it actually.
Yeah.
Very easy.
It's very scary.
It is.
For some reason, you never have to defend spending 2 hours a day on Facebook. But God forbid you go exercising for 2 hours. That's weird. It's a weird perception, right?
Yes, but you know, it's same like if you would buy some vitamins or supplements or whatever. Everyone was, why?
Yeah.
I mean, it costs money. But wait, your cigarettes and alcohol
Exactly.
cost a lot of money as well. So
Yeah.
it's
I have a very expensive fish oil that's like 300 a month for like bottle of fish oil.
yeah. For example,
Yes, and that's crazy to some people. One of the people who says it's crazy is my mom, but she smokes.
and smokes probably 1 pack a day, which is 50 krona, right?
Exactly.
And when you just
But fish oil, oh no, something that
No.
is good for me, that's weird.
it's like food, you know. When you buy some I don't know, good steak or whatever. Whoa, it's expensive. Yeah, but to go to McDonald's to buy a shitty burger, it's even more expensive.
Yeah.
And you're not getting nothing out of it.
But it's short-term satisfaction.
So yeah, it's nothing bad about maybe eating time to time in McDonald's or
No, it's fine once
or
in a while.
having
I do so too.
cigarette or drink, I don't know.
Exactly.
It's just the balance probably. But yeah, you're right. It's very hard to get the understanding from the outside when you are walking, meditating,
Yeah.
going to the I don't know gym. But I think it is changing
It is.
A
Thank
lot.
God.
a lot.
Yeah.
It's more and more like new normal, right? To be healthy and especially now, I think it's very good that we got this
Yeah.
Corona things, and so maybe more people started to think and to set maybe health in as a priority. And walking, I just find out like few months ago that when you are walking with a heavy backpack, it calls rocking.
Rocking.
Yeah.
Hey! That's cool.
So now you kind of, when you are going with a backpack every evening or something, and if someone asks you what are you doing, you can say I'm rocking. It sounds better than walking, right?
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm walking as well. But when you say I'm rocking, are you rocking? No. I am.
Yeah.
But you was training just by rocking or something else. I mean, some, I don't know, cardio, gym, whatever.
Horse riding too.
Yeah, horse riding.
Yeah.
How hard is that? I mean, physically.
I think it's more of a balance training depending on what you do. It's definitely not like going for a jog or a run. You can't really compare those two, but it's also all the work at the barn.
But is it something like riding a bike?
Yeah, that's not too far off actually. Yeah.
I would say because you need to keep the balance.
Yeah.
That means your how we call skeleton muscles are
Exactly.
working a lot, but you are kind of not doing any big movements.
Exactly.
Is it exhausting? I mean, when you ride for an hour or two.
It is, but it's the thing of getting exhausted happens when I get home. So when I'm with the horse, I'm just very much there, also mentally. Because if you check out mentally, when you sit on a horse, the horse will do its own thing. So you gotta lead the team.
Yeah, it's same like when we say driving a car
Yeah.
is not a job. Yeah, try to do that for 12 hours in
Yeah.
a row, 20 hours in a row,
Yeah,
and you will see how big a job it is.
exactly.
I was in a few periods of my life driving a lot to customers and so on, business trips. And sometimes when you come home after a really long ride, it like you are sleeping and you're still driving, or when you go to sleep, you are still driving.
It's like when you play too much Tetris, you know.
Crazy.
You still see the Tetris bricks inside of your head when going to sleep. At least I do, because I played a lot of Tetris in high school.
But it's with everything, right?
Yeah.
With all things. When you do for so long, your brain is kind of. Do you still feel walking after walking the Camino? I mean, at the end of the day. like, if you were walking for 6 or 8 hours, how does it feel when you kind of lay down and you've been walking for 10 days, every day, 7 hours?
You sleep like a baby.
Really?
Yeah. There's always, on public albercas, you sleep in like huge bunk beds, and there is like 20 people in a room, and there's always somebody who snores.
I'm snoring a lot, big time.
But you
So
learn to
I
ignore
will
that.
be hated, or
You probably will in the beginning. But at some point you tend to zoom out and you just still go to sleep because your body is just
no,
craving.
I don't care. I mean, I don't care for myself.
But for the other people around you, they will learn to ignore it. But be kind to yourself when you do the Camino, and get yourself some earplugs. They'll save you.
But if I'm snoring myself so loud, I probably will not hear.
You will be the person who keeps everybody else awake.
Most probably,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh.
I still don't know if I want, because I have sleep apnea, and I am planning to take my machine.
Yeah.
Like with a mask and so on, and with that machine I'm not snoring. It's like really quiet. It's just a machine, and you basically cannot even hear that.
Yeah.
But it is heavy.
Oh.
Like not heavy. It's like 3 kilos, 3.5 maybe. And for that, I need to take a bigger backpack. I bought some, how you call, Fjellraven, whatever. That with a Fox, the big one, 65 liters. And it's too big, right? I mean,
It's too big. Mine is 36, and that's almost too big too.
But the 65 is not too big if I want to take the machine, because machine fills like half a bag. So I will have for my shit like 30 liters, not more. So it's not too big.
No.
But the backpack is like, I think, 3 kilograms versus normal bag 1 kilo. So we have 2 extra kilos just because you are taking the big backpack. And I have extra 3 kilos, 3.5 maybe, for the machine. So it makes minimum 5 kilograms more.
Ooh.
So that's why I need to choose, do I want to sleep good and quiet, but have 5 kilograms on my back, or I want to have less on my back, but I'm kind of risking to sleep not so good.
Ooh.
And being noisy for other people. So it's really hard to choose. And I visited the doctor. I was working with myself a lot for last year to get as better result for this sleeping apnea as I could. And it was really good. I mean, work paid off. And now I can choose if I want to take it or not.
Ooh.
I mean, 1 year before I was in a need to take it, but now I can basically choose.
Yeah.
And it's not helping because you need to choose. It's always hard to pick one.
No matter who you are and what you choose to put in your backpack for your Camino, everybody has the same worries, just with different things. For me, it's like, do I really need to bring an extra shirt or no? Do I want to bring a rain jacket, or am I fine with a poncho? And how can I save 500 grams? Because 500 grams doesn't seem like a lot if you walk for a short time. But after 25 kilometers, those 500 grams really matters.
But that's why I'm talking now about 5 kilograms.
It's a lot.
It's crazy.
It really is.
It's crazy. And if I want to save, I need to cut even more on my stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really. I'm still thinking, what should I do? Should
Pray about it. And try walking with both. Like practice.
I tried. I'm overweight, so my knees are not so good.
Yeah.
And if I put like really heavy bag, my knees starting to hurt, and that's my Achilles point. How it calls in English?
Achilles heel.
Achilles heel. Yeah. The knees. And I tried for some days to walk every day 1 kilometer more, and every day 1 kilogram more in my backpack. And when I reached, I think, 16 kilograms, 16 kilometers with 16 kilograms, I started to feel really bad in my knees.
But 16 is also a lot.
I know, but just to see where I will break.
But I have done the same, So I have been walking with 11 kilos in my backpack here at home. But in reality, I'm bringing 6 maximum, probably even 5, depending on what I got out of my backpack. So that way it won't feel as hard, hopefully, once I get to the Camino again in a week.
Yeah, train hard.
Yeah.
That's helping, I think, when you are training a little bit harder, as it will be. But I'm also not walking so many kilometers a day here. It's like, every evening. Now I'm starting again because I have 1.5 months, if everything is okay. Still, I don't know. In a few weeks, I will check my tickets, and if everything is okay, so I will be like 4 weeks away, and then I will start to plan. Okay, what should I do next? But for now, and it gives this little demotivation,
Yeah. But remember, thoughts have power, and where attention goes, energy flows. Because of my overthinking, I managed to dream this night, actually, or rather last night, that I had gotten to the airport and I found out I had forgotten my passport, and I only had 2 hours left before my flight, and my airport is an hour away from my house. And so I was like, in the dream, I just couldn't go because I hadn't gotten my passport. That is all of these subconscious things that I think during the day manifest themselves in my actual dreams during the night. It's crazy.
But in some sense, I really believe in that. I mean, that your thoughts are somehow materializing in some way. I don't know why and how does it work, but it should be.
Yeah. I don't know how it works either. But there's some truth to it, I think.
Yeah. You are going now in 1 week, right?
I am, like 8 days from now. So probably when this will be out, I'll be
be on the way, for sure.
So I can listen to it when I'm walking. I can listen to my own voice and be like, oh, this was all of my worries. And now I'm here and I'm still alive.
I'm actually afraid maybe you will come back until we will publish it. So.
But I have a feeling no matter when it comes out, it's going to be the exact right time for me to re-listen to it. Because these things have a tendency to work themselves out, and what you worry about is never going to be the actual issue on the Camino. It's going to be something else, and there's going to be worries that you haven't even thought about that will manifest themselves.
But just like in real life.
I know.
Camino is some kind of reflection
totally
to the life.
Yeah.
We are overthinking so many things, and you think, what will be it if I do this or that? Fuck it. It will,
fuck that shit.
Really, like 90% of things you are so afraid of will never happen.
Yeah.
And we are still overthinking,
It's amazing.
Amazing how dumb we are.
Yeah. We really are, might be kind of controversial, but humans, we really are animals. We like to believe we're not, but if we're not fed, if we don't sleep well, and if we don't have basic needs met...
We have instincts, right?
Yes.
That's okay. But I think the thing is we should at least try or have a wish to understand ourselves.
Yeah.
When you see, I think like 90% people in the Western culture, they are just living for, I don't know, for today. Like, they are not overthinking too much. Maybe about shitty small things, but not in general. And when you are starting to think, okay, who am I? What I'm doing here? Why? Like really, why?
Yeah.
And then you start to take care better of yourself.
Yeah.
When you start maybe, I don't know, reading or seeking for some information. And when you go in a Camino, right?
Yeah.
And that is reflecting your willingness to understand the life around you and yourself better.
Yeah.
At least I am thinking that way about the Camino. Because Camino is just a word, It's just
it literally just means way in Portuguese.
Yeah, it means way.
Yeah.
But it is the way of, I don't know, find. I'm not sure if I will find, I got also many questions like, because the first day I got tickets, it was just before New Year.
Yeah.
I kind of posted on Facebook and, here I'm going, and when you get a lot of feedback, good and bad and impressions and this and that. And I know many people are thinking it is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it is crazy. It's just, I think it is crazy in a good way.
Yes.
And that's where I have this conflict with people who are thinking it's crazy in a bad way. Because, you are thinking it's crazy to go the Camino. And I'm thinking it's crazy you don't want to go.
Because it's tough. Like, the day I walked the longest was like 40 kilometers. And it was so painful. Yes. When you think about it, it does sound completely insane, right? But I'm so excited to go soon.
When I got this idea, I had these panic attacks and anxious and this and that. And sometimes even also physically, but even mentally, it was hard to me to walk for half an hour.
Yeah.
And after 1 hour walking, I was starting to get tired also physically. And when you think, well, and now you want to go 900 kilometers, how stupid you need to be, But that gives you a meaning, like why you should try to go more, because you have at the end it gives a point to do something,
Yeah.
Some kind of hope, I don't know, to just, for me, for now, it's just a dream to start the Camino, like first day.
Yeah.
And maybe the next dream will be to finish.
Yeah.
And I was thinking at the beginning, I need to pack all these 30 days, and get all these 900 kilometers and this and that. And now I'm thinking how stupid I was. Really. Now I'm thinking, look, if everything is okay and I'm flying to Paris and then going to
I don't know either, because I'm not doing the Francis. San Jean de Port. And I'm so sorry if I'm
something
butchering
with
this.
the port, yeah.
Yeah.
San Jean de Port, yeah, whatever.
I think.
Pyrines. And then I will just take a bus, or I don't know. I haven't planned yet. And the very first day I will be happy to start. And then I will have 33 days.
Yeah.
Right? And I will be happy if I will, on the 33rd, because I have also 2 days buffer.
Yeah.
So it's like 33 plus 2. So on 35th day, if I will reach Camino de Santiago, I will be fucking happy. But if not, who cares? I will come next year or next year to the same spot where I left, and I will plan a few weeks more, or 1 week or 2 days, whatever.
Yeah.
I will finish it. No question here. It's just would be nice to do that in one piece.
But planning it and wanting to do it on your timing, that's a very human thing to do. But life is so unpredictable, so you will end up where you're supposed to. Remember, this is your journey.
Yeah.
And then try to flood out all the noise of people telling you that, you should do it like this and that. And just like, it sounds so cliche, but if you listen to your heart and pray about it, I feel like it's a way better place of connect. And when you move from a place of connection, then the rest sort of, all this chat out here tend to just sort of be like, shut up at some point. It gets louder until it shuts up, by the way. Because like your fear center, like your brain center who wants to protect you, that part of the brain is going absolutely insane and like, oh no, this is the dumbest idea ever, and it's gonna be warm and I'm gonna be hungry and all of that stuff. And you just gotta like trust yourself that you can do it, trust that you can make healthy decisions for yourself. It's a good place to start. And if your body is screaming at you, everything hurts and everything sucks, then listen to it, because when the body starts talking, it's very different than when the head does. And the mind gives up way faster than the body. But I had one day where my body really was at the edge and everything was super terrible. And I just knew, you don't know it until you've been there, but that is when you know it's the body demanding rest and not just your head being annoyed. It's two very different things.
But don't you think you need sometimes to say, also to your mind, shut up, like you are talking bullshit, we are just going. But also to your body, you know. Sometimes you just feel like you are tired and your mind wants to protect you, right?
Yeah.
It says, look, you asshole, your feet is burning.
Yeah.
If you walk 1 more kilometer, you die, you know, you cannot walk anymore. Stop. And you know you will not die. So you just go. I mean, I think it's very tricky. Your body always senses to your brain, and your brain is like, no, you stupid. No, don't do that.
Okay, allow me to rephrase. It might be a better thing to say, instead of the body telling you to stop, it's your intuition. It's that higher power that I very much believe resides inside all of us.
Okay,
telling you
this
that,
one I want to take better.
And that is when it's telling your body. Maybe it's the point where the mind and the body finally starts to agree that, yes, we are dog tired, we're going to find some rest now.
Look.
Yeah.
Can I try to give you one example what I just thought about the body and mind? When you go to the gym, right? And you put like bench pressing, I don't know, for let's say 20 kilograms, 40, 50 kilograms, whatever. And just try to push it from yourself, and your body says, no, you're not so strong. You're not so strong. And you're like, yes, I am. And 50 kilograms, you know?
Yeah.
And then we have all these situations where the mother can lift a pickup truck to save her child.
Yeah.
And it's insane.
It's absolutely insane, but it's so cool.
But see?
Yeah.
Your body can do way more than your mind tells him.
Yeah.
I mean, your mind is fucking liar. It lies to you. It wants, but it really wants to protect you. It says, Nicoline, don't be stupid. It's 50 kilograms. Don't push it. Take 40. Maybe it will be better.
Yeah.
But you could maybe do 70, 80, 100.
Exactly.
You know?
Under the right circumstances, I could. Like, let's say that if I took 100 kilos, it would save, let's just say my brother, who, even though we disagree, I love him a lot, you know? And if that could save his life, then probably I could lift 100 kilos, you know? But if it wasn't my brother lying
with all
there...
the right levels of your hormones and everything, I think you...
Exactly.
Of course you could.
But in the gym, when it wasn't my brother's life at stake, probably not, you know?
Probably not.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's the point. That you should to set your mind somehow also in the gym.
Yes.
Like, I need to do it.
How do you do that, though?
I don't know. It's just theory. I'm just brainstorming. I don't fucking know shit about that. I lift not more than you. And maybe a bit more, but...
I think meditating is a good place to start. People also have a tendency to get meditation all wrong. I think so, at least. In the sense that the idea with meditation is getting the mind to shut off, but the brain never stop thinking. Meditation just allows you to take a step back and not be... So my sensei, the way he taught me is that if you're always in your head, then you are like in the eyes of the hurricane in the middle of a storm, and you see the storm and you have got no idea what to do. But then if you hold your breath, you can go down under the ocean and you can just like look up at the storm, but from down under it, and like actually see what is going on and see how to adjust. But you have to breathe to do that. And it doesn't mean the storm goes away, you just shift your perspective from it, and it won't harm you as much. That's his metaphor, and I have so much respect for that man, so I like that metaphor too.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm also trying a little bit with meditation. You heard something about Wim Hof method?
Yes, I know
Some
about
breathing
him.
techniques and cold exposure and...
I do box breathing, which is you breathe in for 4 seconds, you hold it for 4 seconds.
And you breathe out for 4 seconds.
Yes,
right?
and you have like death breath for 4 seconds, and then you do it again. And especially when I go horse riding, I use it all the time because I tend to be super fearful that my horse is gonna spook. And then my horse is like, she thinks I'm gonna spook. I'm not sure why, but now I'm gonna spook because the horse can just sense I'm nervous. She doesn't know why. And I can't tell her with words that it's because I'm afraid you're gonna spook. So I'm already preparing that you might spook.
Yeah. I mean, but with humans, it's just the same, you know. If I don't know how to put. If one is afraid of something, it gives somehow this energy to be afraid also. I mean, maybe it was helping for us to stay alive, you know.
Yeah.
Could be the really old shit. Like, we don't even know what it is.
Intentional breathing basically allows the breath to return to the body. Like, it allows the spirit to re-enter the body, if you look at it from a philosophical standpoint or religious standpoint. But also, if you look at it nervous system-wise, we have an automatic nervous system that we can control, which are divided
And thanks God we cannot control.
Yeah, because otherwise we would have to think about our heart rate and
That would be too much.
our kidneys and what have you.
Yeah.
But when you breathe, you literally allow the relaxing part of your nervous system to kick in, which allow your immune system to function better. And the whole thing is just so much connected. So even if you take out all religious aspects of meditating and yoga, physiologically, it's so healthy for your body to do so.
Yeah, and science is showing that. I mean, all
And it's so exciting.
breathing methodologies what we are using, different like boxing and this from Wim Hof or whatever.
Yeah.
It helps a lot to control your mind by breathing. It's a big thing.
Because you connect to yourself.
Yeah. Also, you know, when you are anxious, you basically all you need to do is to get your breathing right. That's it. Yeah, exactly. And that's it.
And you can just sense that you get grounded.
And I think we should be teaching kids in school more breathing, less math, you know, or something.
I agree 100%.
But math is also important. Just, you know, I think that right breathing, right philosophy would probably help me more on everyday life than learning 20 years ago about sinuses, cosinuses, and so much more.
And that is where the Camino kicks in, because it's also, when you're out in nature, it also allows your blood pressure to go down and the relaxing part of your nervous system to kick in. So it's just a very...
And you are moving, you know, you are breathing more on these 6 hours. And that's why when you said, you know, you are sleeping better, of course you are.
Yeah.
You are moving.
Exactly.
I mean, we are created to move. We are not created to sit whole day in our office, and it's killing us. Killing, yeah. I mean, if you are not sitting at home, if it's just these 8 hours you are sitting in the office, and when you go to the gym, you go to bicycle or, I don't know, walking, rocking, whatever.
And it's a balance act, because you also gotta sometimes to just do nothing. But I think being intentional about my downtime is very important, because I have been working full time while trying to start a business, and I'm gonna go back to college. And I also want to see my friends and family, and sometimes I like to sleep. So I carve out specific times for myself where I know, like yesterday night, all I did was watching movies and ordering takeout, because I literally blocked out that night for doing nothing. And then being intentional about not doing anything.
But, you know, if you want to do nothing for one day, just to like kind of restart. Yeah. I think it's good. But then you start to thinking like doing nothing for a week or a month or a year is good. I don't know. Yeah. It would be maybe not so good to you. Again, balance.
Exactly.
Same like walking the Camino, you know, once a year, once a 10 year, whatever, once in a lifetime. Yeah. It's good. But if you would start living on the Camino, that's crazy, no?
Yes, because then you go in the exact opposite direction. But I really find it so strange that, back to the topic about eating shitty food, it's very short-term satisfaction, and it's so socially acceptable. But long-term satisfaction in form of expensive fish oil, people tend to be a bit why about.
Because in the short term, it's easy to understand. It's mouth pleasure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love McDonald's. Who doesn't?
I don't love everything, but few things
Yeah.
I love. Yeah. But again,
Because it's made to make you feel good short term.
sure. I mean, they know what they are doing.
Yeah.
Same like Netflix or all these different apps or games on the phone or whatever.
Yeah.
It keeps you sucked up,
Exactly.
and that's not just the marketing. I mean, it's also neurologically or whatever, psychologically.
It's designed to make you
It's designed to make you stupid. I mean, to
addicted.
Addicted. Yeah, that's a better word. Addicted.
I don't think people who spend a lot of time on Facebook are stupid. They just haven't been.
Why not?
Because if you don't know there is a better way, and if nobody have showed you that path, then how are you supposed to enter into a different way? And if the people you hang out with are the people who think it's very much acceptable to spend 5 hours on Facebook,
Look,
then that is what you have mirrored back to you.
but don't you think that if you are not stupid and you are spending 5 hours, let's say, on Facebook every day, don't think you understand that somewhere deep? I mean, even if you don't know about other choices,
Yeah,
you know it's wrong.
exactly.
I
But
mean,
you numb it.
Look, if you would ask 10 people, what are you doing? What do you think it's wrong you are doing in your life?
Yeah.
They all know. They will write,
Me too.
I'm
Too
browsing
much
too
chocolate.
much and You know all
Yeah.
these things what you are doing wrong. And if I would ask you what do you want to improve, it would take for you 2 minutes
Yeah.
to say, I don't want to sit on Facebook too much, I don't want to eat McDonald's too much, blah blah blah. You know what is good and what is bad.
Very much so.
Yeah.
But we're all humans, and it's the personal Camino in everyday life that you don't get to Santiago in one day. And even when you get to Santiago, there is still the option of going to Fisterra and figure out what is there.
That's
And then on Fisterra, there's something else.
that's
Like
really-
it never ends.
that it is indeed a really good example
Yeah.
with a Camino, because I want to lose weight, obviously.
Who doesn't? I'm at a healthy weight, and even I feel like I should lose weight.
I mean, look,
It's every person ever.
no, but now these days they say it's I don't know how body shaming. You cannot say for a fat guy he's a fat or girl or whatever. But I think we need to tell them, or at least also to myself, you need to admit I'm fat.
Yeah.
It's not healthy. It's not right. What should I do? Probably eat less shit, eat more good food, exercise more, and that's it. And that's exactly what you said about the Camino. You cannot go in one day.
No.
You cannot hope for one pill which will help you to not to be addicted to Facebook. You're not to hope for one pill which will help you to lose weight. It's a long process.
And the road is so painful. I cried. I remember one day, I think it was on my 5th day, I spent the whole day crying about past relationships.
How cute.
It was terrible. But it was so amazing. When the day finished, I felt so refreshed. And the next day I had a rest day that helped too.
Oh, I thought on the next day you got new relationship. But yeah, okay.
No.
Okay. So no new relationships on Camino.
No, I was in a relationship when I did my first Camino.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then this time I'm just going without any relationships whatsoever. Yeah.
So maybe it will come.
Who knows? If it does, great. But if not, I'm, trying to run a company and go back to school. So.
But what do you think about people who are walking the Camino? I mean, you met, obviously, many of them.
I met a
time.
really, really great girl, and we're still friends. And we still talk on Facebook.
Is it not kind of rule you cannot be friends, or how we say, like some kind of rule? If you are walking together a few days or whatever, you're just not meeting after the Camino, or no?
We were supposed to, and I was so
I just
looking
heard
forward
somewhere
to see
that
it.
you kind of not supposed to make friends on the Camino.
I did. And
Like
she's still
like
my
long-term friends.
Yeah. And
But
I was
don't
really
know.
hoping. I haven't seen her since the Camino, but that's because of Corona. So. But I did meet, like, there was a group of, I think it was 5 people that I walked with for a couple of days that I met in Santiago after, and we went out and had dinner together. But those people I don't stay in touch with now, no. But I shared such intimate moments with them, which, unless you have been on the Camino and found a Camino family, you can't really compare to anything. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's the whole spiritual sitting, and you meet where you're supposed to, and if you believe in that sort of things, which obviously I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. On the other hand, you wouldn't go for the Camino if you would
No.
not believe in that. No, but it's just somewhere I heard or read or whatever that you kind of not making long-term friendships. It's just on the Camino and like, I don't know.
I think it depends.
I think it's bullshit. You know, if you found someone you can really interact easily and you see that you have a lot of things to talk, why not to to make it longer?
Exactly.
But are they crazy with people on the Camino?
Of course people are crazy on the Camino. You're literally carrying something heavy on your back, getting blisters, and having troubles finding places to sleep on purpose.
Yeah.
You pay to feel pain. And for it to be difficult.
When you take it that way, so yeah. But no, I mean, there is also cliche of thinking that all these people who are going to Camino, they are somehow on the, I don't know, on the edge of their life or whatever. Like we are really a little bit, but is it true? I mean, is it could you generalize and say that so many people on the Camino are somehow enlightened, or I don't know?
What is enlightenment anyway?
Good question. Enlightenment, I think it's when you, from that point where you understand that everything what you did, or mostly in your life before, was wrong, and now you know how you supposed to do or not to do. I think that really changing point in your life could be called enlightenment.
Yeah. But I don't know. When I did my first Camino, I was in such a good place mentally. I had taken up some time for college. I was on a leave from college and I was supposed to go back to college. And then I was moving in with my then partner. And I was moving back closer to my hometown after living further away from my hometown for a while. And everything was a place of transition, but to really, really amazing things.
But changes in your life can be, I mean, good changes in your life can be as stressful as bad changes.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised to learn that a birth in your family can be as stressful as death in your family.
Wow.
As many stress points.
But that does make sense actually, because the body doesn't know when you're stressed.
You don't know if you are happy stressed or sad stressed.
You don't know if it's a perceived threat or if it's an actual threat. Your body doesn't know the difference anyway.
No.
So of course, no matter if it's a birth or a death, it will affect your body the same way. Why have I never thought of that? That makes so much sense.
Stress is stress.
Exactly.
And I think that it's, again, easier said than done. But when you are giving stress on purpose in everyday life, you are going, I don't know, to the gym, or you are rocking, or you are doing something. Horse riding, for instance. I think your body knows how to fight this mental stress when you're giving him this physical stress.
Yeah.
It's not just the hormones you are getting after the sport or exercise. It's also somehow, I think, related in that sense. You are stressing your body, and your mind gets less stress somehow.
Yeah, it's endurance.
Yeah. And I think that many people are kind of feeling not enlightened, but like lighter after the Camino, at least what I heard.
Yeah.
Also because of that, because you gave to your body so much stress. And that is freeing your soul or your mind, or call it how you want. And I also heard a few times, like, why the fuck you need to go to Spain to walk if you can walk just in Denmark?
I have heard that too.
And that kind of makes sense, Of
Yeah.
course you could, but I think that when you are geographically far away, and when you are doing in like a real Camino, it's easier to push your real life aside,
Yeah.
Because here, when you have family, you have I don't know, business, school, job, whatever, you will not push it. I tried to walk for a few weeks, for really as much as I can. It's really hard to do that. You need to somehow put these kilometers on your daily life. And on the Camino, and that's where you come, you need to say if I'm right or not. I think when you wake up and you know that you have only one job,
Yeah.
to go these 20, 30, whatever kilometers, that's it.
Yes.
I don't know if it makes easier, but at least psychologically it's supposed to.
Yeah.
Of course, mentally you probably are at least first days half at home, half on a Camino, right?
I think it's for me. I started in Portugal because I had already lived in Portugal for a year and a half, and then I had been back in Denmark for a year before I did my Camino. But starting in Portugal was so important to me because it feels like my second home country. I call it my heart child or my heart country.
Do you talk Portuguese or Spanish or?
I do talk somewhat decently Portuguese because they speak really terrible English. No offense to my Portuguese friends. So you have to, even to just buy milk at the grocery store, you have to be able to speak Portuguese because otherwise they can't help you at the grocery store.
But same in Spain, right?
Yeah.
I was trying to learn a little bit, but I don't know. Maybe I will prepare myself better for second Camino. I don't know. I hope that my first will not be the last. I somehow have this feeling.
It won't. I was supposed to go in November last year, but that was like the top of the pandemic. So my flight got cancelled, and so I didn't go. So this is the Camino I was supposed to be in November last year that I'll be doing now. And even if, let's say this flight get cancelled and I won't go a week from now, then still it's going to be at another point because the Camino is calling.
Like next year.
You just feel it in your little heart, right?
Somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow. And it's really hard to explain for smart people, and ask, okay, why won't you? This, that. I'm not buying. Yeah, but I don't know. Like I want to go for some religious meanings as well.
Yeah.
Some fitness, also good. Endurance, yes. Cleaning your head, yes. Setting somehow yourself and readjusting, yes. But at the end, you still have some place where you even yourself, you don't know why you want.
Exactly.
It's, as you said, somewhere here you just know you want. That's it. Like a small child, I want. I don't know how much it is childish, but I feel kinda. I need to do that, somehow. Sounds stupid.
No, it doesn't.
But
not to me, but that's because I'm also going,
But yeah, and I understand people who are thinking that it is stupid, because to set your whole life on pause for 5 weeks.
But why not?
But why not? I mean, look, again, if you think like really, maybe if you put your life on pause for 5 weeks, maybe, I hope, it will give you so much more clearance in your head and everything. Like, maybe you will earn these 5 weeks and even more. I mean, I'm kind of looking at that as an investment.
Yeah.
Some kind of. Or at least I am trying to thinking that way, and maybe to prove to myself that I'm not so stupid. I don't know. Because you need to find the meaning, right? I mean,
Yeah. But I think it's like you have to find your personal truth. And my personal truth won't be yours or anyone else's. But it's still part of a universal truth.
yeah, it's some general things you
Yeah.
could probably say, okay, so many people are going because of that, or da. You could, but at least what I see from the people who was going or would like to go, they are kind of, again, not crazy, but they somehow feel it that they need to do that. It's somewhere inside.
Yeah.
And again, it's with tattoos, we say there are two kinds of people.
Mm-hmm.
These that are having one tattoo, and these who are having like 10 plus tattoos. And I think it's kind of same with Camino. There are people who are trying once, and there are people who are going like 5 times, 6
Yeah.
times. It's never I just went 2 Caminos. No. It's 1 or 5.
I mean, if I had gone last year in November, I probably still would have left in a week from now, and it would have been my third, Now it just happens to be my second because we're not at the top of the pandemic anymore. Yeah, so true.
Yeah, it looks like it. It's even 1 or 3, 4, 5. It's never 2.
But I met a girl who was Catholic,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm agnostic, which is kind of ironic because I work as a Reiki healer, but I still consider myself to be agnostic. And her reasons for doing the Camino were vastly different from mine, because she was literally doing it as a sort of atonement to God. Like, because she believed in the one and only God and his son Jesus Christ and the Holy Ghost.
Me too.
Yeah.
But for us Catholics, when you go one time Camino de Santiago, that means that all your sins are forgiven.
Yeah.
All.
She said the same.
Like all.
Yeah.
Huh? Not bad, huh? Not bad. 800, 900 kilometers and everything goes to 0.
Yeah.
But,
awesome.
But I am Christian by choice.
Yeah.
I want to believe in that. And I think for people it's so much easier to live when you believe in that.
Yeah.
When, let's say, we all did things in our life we are
less proud of
or not proud of it, and when someone gives you that opportunity to start from the scratch.
Yeah.
I say, look, it will be hard. You will go 800 kilometers. So, yeah, okay.
Mine is like 700 this time.
Yeah, but 800, 900, whatever, 700. I say, look, you will go for a walk for 1 month, and you can start from the scratch.
Yeah.
I say, yeah, good deal, And when you are walking, you have enough time to think about it. First thing. Another, you feel like you paid for your sins. It's not for free. You was walking, actually hurting yourself. And I kind of see sense in all these, Catholics used to, how it goes?
Whip themselves.
Whip themselves, yeah. And
Yeah.
that kind of makes sense, because you are connecting to your body and brain. Like, I was bad, I know that. I hurt myself, it hurts. That means I paid for it.
But does God work like that according to Christianity? Isn't the thing of the reason why he sent Jesus was so that we wouldn't have to punish ourselves?
But if you want to pay for your sins, I mean,
But Jesus did it on the cross according to Christianity.
yes, all the sins before.
Yeah.
So that means 2020.
Oh, so the rest of us are just screwed.
Yeah,
Lovely.
From these years, I mean, look, he was born in year 0, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was dead in 33, so that means Jesus, my math. Okay, almost 2000 years we are doing sins which we need to pay by ourselves somehow. But and I think you kind of feel you paid for your sins when you walked away, right?
Yeah.
And that kind of illusion that you can start from scratch can give you a hope. Maybe it's a false hope. I don't know, but it could help so many people.
If life is what you make it and you decide for it to be a true hope, then your perception of it makes it a true hope, you know?
Of course, it depends how you
perceive things.
Yeah. And what logic do you put into it? And that makes sense, you know, if you was a really bad person, like murder, I don't know. Look, if you came to a conclusion that you will go the Camino and you will start from the scratch. I mean, I'm trying to explain why I believe your sins are forgiven, because when you came to this idea that you will walk for 1 month and you can pay for your really bad sins, you are halfway to being a good person.
Yeah.
Because first thing is to understand that you harm people, you did bad things, right? Next step, you need to get a chance to pay for that. And that is offered by walking, right? And when you are on a 0, you can start your life from new as a good person. So as a Christian, I believe in that a lot. And it makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, I never tried, but if we would ask psychologists or something, I pretty sure they would agree on that point. That you need to have a chance to
Redeem yourself.
start, somehow. But it gets even better, because when you walk the second Camino, you basically are freed from the future sins. You know, 2 Caminos, you can go directly to heaven.
Okay, so you can just like do
Directly.
do 2 Caminos and you can just rape and murder and steal and whatever, and you still go to heaven after the second Camino. It's good to know.
Yeah. So after your second Camino, you can do whatever you want, basically. You will get to heaven. And for that, I still don't know where is here sense. Because for first one, second chance, everything is okay. But for a second, I'm still not sure how to explain that.
But don't you think it's also when you have put your body through so much suffering and so much pain, as the Camino is also, then you don't want to treat anybody else that way. Like, hopefully you will end up a bit kinder, because it's not easy to be human. So if you choose to be kind to yourself on the Camino, hopefully you will mirror that back to other people, and then hopefully God will clap in his really old hands.
So far, I understand that Camino is also helping you to believe to humanity. Never tried, I don't know, you tell me. That even, I was talking with one of my old classmates, she did also the Portuguese way.
Oh, nice.
And she said, like, you know, even though at one point of your life you're thinking all people are assholes and this and that, you trust no one. After the Camino, you understand people are nice and kind, you know.
People are just people.
And maybe I will find the answer for the second part, when you can have sins in the future after the first Camino.
Yeah.
Because my hypothesis is that when you are going one time, first time you know that you will get second chance, but you don't know what is waiting for you, right? And the second time you are doing already, you know already what you have been through. So that means, I don't know what that means. Really, I need to walk first.
Yeah. You will find out you know very little and that you worry too much about things that won't ever be an issue. That's
I'm afraid just of one thing, blisters. That's it. Because I tried it, and I know it can hurt a lot, and it stops you a lot, and that can be a huge issue. So that's the only thing basically I'm afraid. And my knees, yeah, I can slow it. I have this, bind it and stuff. So yeah, I'm a little bit afraid of that, but blisters, big time, a lot.
Yeah.
And so far, it was not so bad to prevent it. I still got few, but I don't know how to prevent that. Change socks more, or have more shoes, or what?
I was so lucky I didn't get a single blister the first time. But this time I'm walking in different shoes. And that's been a whole...
What kind of shoes do you have?
First time I did it was with a really big heavy boot, and this time I'm doing it with trail shoes.
I have boots, Mandel, I think, but one of these Mandels started to somehow, so maybe I need to change them.
Yeah.
And I'm so disappointed because I was walking in them for a half year, like almost every day. Not last few weeks, but
Yeah.
really a lot. And I feel kind of comfortable now because, when you start walking in new shoes, it's really bad. And if I will change them now, I have 6 weeks to walk it through, so it's a little bit. And so now I'm thinking also maybe to get trail shoes. I don't know.
I don't know if mine will be the right fit until I get there. But worst case, so if you believe in God, then there's also, God doesn't give you a challenge that you can't handle. So just trust that the shoes that you have will teach you a lesson regardless.
But you see, you are also a believer.
Yes and no. Because the thing is,
But you sound like one.
I was a Christian for
you
a
mentioned
couple
God
of
more
years.
than I did in the last few hours.
I tried being a Christian and go to church for a couple of years. Then the thing is, I didn't like, maybe it's not so much God I didn't like as the way of how people perceived God. And so the thing is, I still wanted to drink and I still wanted to have sex. And according to the Bible, that's like, no, that's bad for you.
No, drinking is okay.
Ah, okay, so it's just no sex is allowed.
Yes and no.
Yeah, if you get married.
Yeah, you see.
But I feel
every situation has workaround.
clever, huh?
Smart.
But just the whole way that people perceived the rule book, the Bible, the 10 Commandments, it doesn't sit well with me. Also, that if you don't believe in the one eternal God, then you are doomed to a life in hell. I can't think of a single person who deserves eternity in hell. Nobody deserves that. I mean, we always bring up Hitler as a bad person, so let's just use Hitler as an example. Of course he deserves to be rightfully judged and punished, but after 50 years or something, you gotta be like, okay, dude, you paid now.
No, forever.
Nobody deserves that, in my opinion. So if God really believes that anybody deserves eternal domination, that is not a God that with my very limited human brain and my position of the world, that is not the type of God that I want to pray to, and that's not the type of God that I believe in, because nobody deserves eternal doom, in my opinion.
But look, just to oppose, the God is not just loving, right? It's also punishing. And when he says, like, if you do this and this and that, you should be okay,
Yeah.
You've been informed what to do and what not to do. Same like we have rules on Earth, right? If you park your car bad, you will get a fine, and you know that.
Yeah.
Or if you will be speeding, you will probably get a ticket. Same here. Don't be a Hitler, and you should be fine. You know? And I think it's okay. It's a good motivation for you to be I mean, in Christianity, the main thing is to believe in devil.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not believing in devil, that means you don't believe in God. So you need to believe in hell to be a good person. You need to believe so much in hell that you don't want to finish your life in hell.
But if that is what keeping you from being a decent person, is literally because that if I behave meanly, I'll go to hell. That's I would much rather be an agnostic person, and then I'm just kind to people because I feel like it's the right thing to do, not because God gives me a cookie for doing so. And people who are really kind, who happens to be agnostic or atheists, I feel like they're doing it from a more genuine place because they just do it since it's the right thing to do, not because God will reward them or punish them for not doing something or doing something.
But look, it's I think if you are losing something, you're gaining something. You cannot just.
Can you elaborate on that?
You cannot just take a good things from religion or from life, right? I mean, if you want to have this inner peace, what gives you God or religion or whatever, you need to sacrifice something. Because without sacrificing, you don't cherish it. You know, you need. These rules are made not just because it's bad to kill, or of course it's bad to kill, but I think that many over rules, like which is kind of too much. Maybe also we thought in that way in 2,000 years ago, but God doesn't want me to do that. Maybe it's too much, but I need to sacrifice, you know.
Yeah.
And this sacrifice action gives you kind of this hope. I mean, you feel same like with Camino, you know. You walked, it hurt. That's why it is so rewarding.
Yeah.
It's same with religion, you know. You don't do what it is forbidden, and that makes you to be proud you did not that stuff. You know, I think it's many parallels to, especially to Camino.
So you don't think that atheists who donates a lot of money to charity, it makes them feel good and they know it's the right thing, so that's why they do it. You don't think they feel as happy as a Christian who does it?
Yes, because Christian is holding on some rules which gives him more satisfaction. It seemed like, you know, we used to not eat, I'm still trying to not eat meat on Fridays.
Okay.
And it's kind of easy thing, you know. Don't eat meat on Friday. Yeah. But when you can hold it for a really long time, you start to somehow to find meaning in that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you start to feel some kind of happiness. I don't know, that you could do that. Same like if you are going to the gym, right? Everyone wants to have a nice body. But how many want to go to the gym and work for that nice body? So the main idea what I want to say, you cannot get good things without sacrificing something. You need to pay for things to be happy. And that actually it is very, very easy to show in a picture with people who won like $1 million, whatever, or euros. They all get broke in 3 years.
They do?
Because we didn't earn that money. Same with, I think, with happiness or something. You need to feel you earned it.
Yeah.
With everything.
I think it's kind of the same thing actually. If you look at it, this is a way smaller scale. But my business which specializes in healing for horses and humans,
Can you a little bit explain more about that? I know you did
Yeah.
a little bit, but just
So I use Reiki healing because I had Reiki Attunement from my sensei Karsten. And basically what it is that it's a Reiki is a 2 words in one. That Rei means God or king, and Chi is basically life force energy. So it's the God-given life force energy that I take.
But Chi is like a soul or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Energy.
Yeah, energy.
And then basically I just take it down through my hands and I use it to heal humans and horses mostly.
But how you do that? I mean,
I put the hands on the horse
yeah.
and then my fingers start to go all crazy and buzzy. And then usually I will have a pain where the horse have a pain. And so I'll ask the owner, so I'm feeling pain in what is the horse's right hip? Does that make sense to you? And for some weird reason, 90% of the time, the owner will be like, yes, it's probably because of this and this. And then I can work more with it. And I can also ask the horse. So if the horse is very expressive, they will like nod the head or they will shake their head.
But are you trained to do that, or are you just giving from, I don't know?
If Reiki is taught in 3 steps, and I was taught all 3 steps, so it's called Reiki Attunement, so you get attuned in to do Reiki. Yeah.
How long does it take to
For me, it took like a year before I was ready.
I know it's different, like black belt. It can take
Yeah.
5 years, can take 10 years.
But
can
I
take
mean,
15
if you
years.
ask about the attunement itself, it's like half an hour, like the ceremony
Yeah,
itself.
but no, the whole study thing, I mean.
For me, it took a year.
A
For
year.
some people, it takes less and more, you know. That was when I was ready, because it's a heartfelt thing that you have to be ready for.
That's
So it's not so much the attunement, it's all the things that it's up to feeling ready for receiving the knowledge. And then it took me like 2 years more to put the certificate on my wall because I didn't want to tell people I was a Reiki healer because I was so embarrassed
Why?
because I was so afraid of being judged, you know. And then the ego go like, no, just finish college and do physical therapy and that will make way more sense to people. Stuff like that.
But as I told you before, you know, I really, really think, and I'm fucking happy that we live in a really good times.
Yeah.
It has downsides, of course, but the good thing is that we can explore or try to do so many new things,
Yes.
which you would never think about it if you don't have something to eat or whatever. So it's really, really nice time to live in, and I hope that these fuckers will not ruin it. Yeah, I mean, world is going crazy. You see that it's really going fucking crazy, like in a really bad sense. But for now, we have really, really like. Also, you know, let's face it, going the Camino. It's also you need to be living good enough, or you need to have really bad, like nothing to lose, or everything is, you know, okay. I can do that.
I'm in another place of transition right now. Just like last time, this is because I'm thinking about whether to go back to school or if I should pursue more within my business with horses. And so the Camino is giving me 600 kilometers, 700 kilometers to figure out like what do I want to do. But I'm so privileged that I have a whole month where I can just go and think.
And do that.
The only thing that would have made my life any easier would have been if I had been born a male. But I'm already so privileged as a Scandinavian female.
No. It's not so easy to be a male.
No, you also
The
have...
only good thing, you can piss by standing. Really, that's...
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. Other things, I don't think that it's a privilege. You know, we were going for thousands of years to war. Is it a privilege to go and fight and get shot, or I don't know? No. Is it a privilege why, I don't know, 99% of men are working in really catastrophically hard conditions? Don't think so. So I really don't buy that shit. Nothing is privileged at all. You always pay for, if you have, let's say, if you look in the company and you are the CEO, is it a privilege or is it a sacrifice? Of course, you have the best salary, you have the best car, you maybe have some other perks, right? Nice. But you also are responsible for everything. If something goes wrong, you are the first to blame.
Let's just say that you have a right to your opinion and I have a right to mine, and let's just respectfully agree on disagreeing. Yeah.
Of course. But that's why it's always interesting to have these kind of discussions, And I really like if someone can change my mind. I fucking love it.
Yeah. But you didn't even allow me to finish why I feel like being a male is sometimes easier before you went on a rant, which kind of makes me think that probably no matter what I say, you will be on the defense, which is completely normal, and I do the same thing all the time regarding other topics. So,
many things.
Yeah.
But sorry for that. Tell me, why do you think more it is?
I think
it is better to be male than female.
I think one of the greatest examples is the fact that when people go on a date, like the men are afraid that the women will laugh at them, the women are afraid that the man is going to kill them. If you look at it from...
What kind of dates you are going to?
No, but it's that thing of, if I'm walking home alone at night, I haven't in a while because, Corona, then I have a friend, and then usually I'm on the phone with a friend and I have my keychains in my hand because who knows, who is trying to follow me. If I see a really big, tall guy with broad shoulders, then I have a tendency to just walk out of him, getting out of his way.
Can I break you here?
Yeah.
I do the same. If I would see in the night a big guy in the middle of nowhere, of course I would go around. Why I should mess with him? I mean, and if someone, two guys, let's say, will come with knives to you and say, give me your money. Of course you will give. But I will do, as a man, I will do the same.
Yeah. But they wouldn't target you as easily
Why?
as females because we are not perceived to be as capable of handling ourselves physically as a guy.
Okay, that makes sense. It's no brainer if you want to attack someone. Probably you probably would choose someone who is less possible to defend themselves. But again, me and you, we are on the same level in a night against two guys with a knife.
Yes, but most likely the guy would go after me instead.
But I got your idea, and the chances that you will get in this situation are bigger than chances I will get in
and I'm not saying males also have terrible stereotypes imposed on you.
But you see, karate, I don't.
Huh?
You know karate, and I don't.
I didn't get very far because I like the spiritual aspect of... I like the karate philosophy a lot more, so I didn't get very far into it, but it was good exercise and it was a lot of fun. And I must say that, so I have been... In the horse world, it's mostly females. And in karate clubs, it's mostly males.
But there's nothing wrong with that, right?
No. The thing is, it's the differences are so interesting to look at. Because the amount of shit talking that people who ride horses will do is up here, talking behind people's back and not being nice when you go to competitions and stuff.
Really?
Yeah. While in karate clubs, where it's mostly males, the pecking order is quite clear because you have the bell order. But also in general, people don't say as much shit behind people's backs. They're way more direct because that's the feminine approach is to be calculated and take a step back. While the male approach, it's more being direct about what is up.
I agree.
But I think that men could do well to learn some more finesse regarding things, and females could, or women could be better at being more assertive and being more clear about what we want. So we can both learn from each other,
Exactly.
which I feel like is what we're not doing now. We're just throwing mud at each other instead and being like, oh, my gender has it worse than yours.
But by saying men are more direct, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, when men says something, you don't need to interpret.
No.
I mean, he said what in many cases, he said what he really meant to. You don't need to make any interpretations.
No.
Like, if man says, I'm hungry, yeah, that means he's hungry. You know, that's it. No meanings back, no, nothing.
But there's also a huge difference between how we perceive men and women. Like, for women to be called crazy, it's something I have noticed that my female friends tend to not call their ex-partners crazy the same way that my male friends does about their exes.
Really?
Yeah.
But maybe they are crazy. Never thought about that. I don't know. But men and female.
No, they're humans, and humans are very... On one point, humans are very complicated creatures, but on the other hand, we are
So simple.
Yes, exactly.
But don't you think that it is the beauty that men and women are different?
It is. But if we behave the same way as guys does, it tends to be perceived as more bossy and more calculated compared to when a guy just do something.
Let's put it that way. At least what I'm thinking. I really hate that women's kind of think, you know, womanish these things. I would really kind of like more straight and this and that. But I would never be interested in woman which is appearing herself as a guy, you know.
Yeah.
That would be like, no. So that means I kind of like these feminine things also, even if they are crazy. Still better when same like, you know, when I really like to talk with different people with different opinions, because if you would start to pick people as yourself, you would end up with yourself. That's it.
Yeah.
If you would start, you know, I will just talk with a man. I will just talk with men who came from Lithuania. I will talk with men who are just 35 years, whatever, old, and this and that, and you would end up just with Christians, just with that, and you would end up really alone in the room talking to yourself.
But it's kind
That's the end point.
Yes, that's because you realize that different input is important. But if you go back to the Facebook thing with people who are 5 hours on Facebook, they are most likely in a setting where they are with people similar to themselves.
But you know, Facebook's algorithm
Yeah.
is giving you
Yeah.
the information you
Oh,
want.
it's awesome, isn't it?
I mean, you were searching for horses. Okay, we will give you horses. We will give you so many horses. You will fucking get crazy from these horses, you know? We will suck you all in with horses. And on one hand, it makes sense with algorithm, but on the other hand, it's polarizing people.
Yeah.
And there are more and more right, left, this, that, you know, and they cannot understand these, and these people cannot understand. And also social media is doing a really bad job in this case.
So how do we unite people?
Walk the Camino.
Yeah.
No,
actually, that's a very good place to start. Like, force everybody to walk 700 kilometers under 2 feet and...
Like, maybe not forcing, a little bit too much fascist. But I would say we need to understand that we need to get more out into the real life. Because, you know, when you see on Facebook, let's say, You say, oh, this guy is so crazy, he's posting this thing, and oh, I hate him. But if you would sit with him, maybe he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he has some kind of little bit crazy ideas, but maybe in general he's a nice guy. And you cannot see that through Facebook, right?
No.
Because on Facebook you can just see his few posts, and Facebook will show you just these posts to you.
Yeah.
And that's not real life. I mean, as much as I'm working with marketing and sales, and as much as I love it, all these new technologies, what you can do, but it can be, at the same time you understand that it can be used in really bad ways.
Yeah.
And by saying walk the Camino, just be more outside. Like, I always try to give the example also for my kids, they want to see an iPad and this and that. What is better, to taste ice cream or to look at the screen like someone is eating ice cream? And I said this example to someone, I don't know now, and the best answer so far was, so, neither one or another. So what do you mean? The best thing would be to eat ice cream and stream it live.
Yeah.
And actually that's what we are doing right now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what could be better than a really nice discussion, really nice talk? Could be streaming that discussion live to someone, and someone, I hope, will listen to all these crazy talks and will find some useful information. I think podcast is some really new and could be used as a nice tool for communicate somehow. Like, like a hammer can be a tool to build a house and can be a tool to murder or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a tool. Same with podcasts, it's a really nice tool to feel some, I don't know, different connection in humanity, to learn from each other, but it could be used really bad. Like, just think, if you would, all you do in your life just listening podcasts from morning to evening, you would be fucked.
Do you think the Camino can turn you bitter? So instead of it
What do you
being
mean?
instead of it being some sort of rebirth, you just end up being so bitter because everything sucks and you don't see the beauty of it. Because everybody I've met who have done the Camino
I don't know. I
always
didn't
said it
thought
was
about
a rebirth and said it was absolutely amazing. And I think the same. That's why I'm going again.
that. Yeah.
But like in theory, probably the exact opposite thing could happen, and people could turn really angry at life because of the Camino that they chose to go on. But probably they don't finish. I don't know.
Good point. It could be that you will go and say, oh shit, what have I done, right? And maybe if you feel so bad, you can always say, okay, I'm just going now or taking the bus to the departure city, right? And I'm just take 2 weeks of vacation. Okay, why not? But deep inside, I think if you decided to walk, almost nothing will stop you. And that's also a nice analogy to life, right? I mean, there are so many things which we would like to do. Let's say this podcast. I was thinking about it for some time and when you're trying to find some obstacles yourself, oh, my English is not good enough. Oh, I don't have this gear. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, I don't know how to do that. Oh, that will cost money. Oh, that will cost time. Of course. But when you decide to do that and you see how you improve from episode to episode, I said, okay, that's not so bad. Maybe some things are worse than I thought. Maybe some things are easier. But even now, when I see 6 episodes behind, I say, fuck, man. That was a long journey. And that gives you some kind of motivation. Like if it changed me for last 6 episodes so much, okay, what will happen
with 6 years?
With 6 years, let's say. And same, I hope it is the same with Camino. You go 5 days, you look back, okay. So far, I got this and this and this. And, what is waiting for me? And when you finish the Camino, you say, okay, I was 30 days on the road and it was this and that. What it will give me in the future,
Yeah.
Same here in life. So that's why I'm kind of trying to get these parallels to the Camino, even though I didn't walk even one day yet.
But mentally, you're already... I actually had someone who had done the Camino that I spoke to 3 weeks before going or something. He was telling me when we spoke about it, but you're already on the Camino. Like, don't worry, it's going to be fine. I think it's the exact same thing for you. Like, you're already there mentally, and now you just need to get there physically. And
of course, you're afraid, you don't know what to expect and how it will be. But yeah, mentally, I think you start your Camino way earlier than you actually start.
Exactly.
And I heard also that your Camino ends way late after when it actually ends.
I had that not too long ago where I'm such a blessed lady that I have not a lot of friends. I have a lot of acquaintances, but I also have a few really close friends, and I'm so thankful for those ladies to have them in my life. And I love those girls so much. But then I spoke to one of them right after I came home, and I had just spoken about, oh God, it was so painful. I have no idea why I did it. And then I spoke to her again recently, where I was like, it was great, I can't wait to go again. And then she was the one who told me, man, your perception changed so much. But she's been my friend for 10 years. So she's just in general, she's seen me grow so much, because, I was 16 when I met her and I'm 26 now. So having those people around to remind you is so important.
But don't you think that sometimes from the side you can even observe better?
Yes.
I mean, sometimes it's hard for you to tell how much do you change. I mean,
exactly, because I'm stuck in here all the time.
For yourself, you are still the same.
Yeah.
And yeah, and that's why it is good to seek references from the outside.
Exactly.
I always try to ask for feedback. And sometimes people are hesitating to tell bad feedback, but it's also necessary. You need to know, you need to be critical, because if you are not critical, you will not walk.
Yeah, that is why you need smart people in your life, and that is why I'm so lucky to have the friends that I do, because they are such smart women. They're so intelligent, and
So it's just women?
I also have a few close male friends.
See? Equality.
Yeah, but they have just my closest female friends. I have been hanging around for 10 years. One of them has been here for 15.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, but I'm just so.
Of course, it's good to have same sex friends. I mean, but you can understand each other a little bit better.
But I also I really like the friends that I made from my karate club, because they're super intelligent males, and they have a whole different way of seeing things that my female friends, they don't see it that way, because
it's also good.
They're ladies.
It helps you to understand the opposite sex, and which makes also sense. I really like to talk to women, just on that purpose, to kind of understand them better.
Really practical thing. First thing is that if you think it's some sort of remote desert you're walking in, you're way wrong. I was never more than 7 kilometers away from coffee, which for me was a very good thing. So there's like cafes all over. Just be aware in the morning, you might walk for a couple hours without anything being open, but it doesn't mean that you don't go through towns with groceries and stuff. So you don't have to prepare a tent and survival kits with food, because it's so easy to buy food along the way.
Also from supermarkets, right?
Yeah. And I think it's a very common misconception that it's this remote thingy, because it's really not.
Especially for Frances, right?
Especially for Frances, from what I've heard. Yeah.
Should not be an issue here. Because,
Exactly.
you know, of course you are overthinking. You think, okay, should I get some really little bit snacks or something, you know, or maybe this or maybe that. But again, as we were just talking, you know, you probably even financially, you know, when you think, oh, how much money I should take, 1,000, 2,000 euros or whatever. And as I said, you know, you probably would make it with zero,
Yeah.
and you probably would make it with 10,000 euros. So
My budget last time was roughly 20 euros a day because I stayed in public albergues, which were no more than 9 euros. And then also buying food, I would use, I don't know, 10 euros on food daily. That was what I decided to do. But you can also get just a meal for 25 euros, of course. Or you can just choose to make your own food and make sandwiches.
You can go to restaurants.
Yeah.
Of course.
And then some nights I would have just apples and a light salad because I wasn't hungry at all. And other days I would go to have a really expensive, very nice steak, and I would spend like 30, 40 euros on a meal.
Oh, nice.
It very much depends on what your body wants from you, and just listen to it. Yeah.
And what your pocket is allowing to you.
Yes, that too.
Also that. But, you know, I'm just thinking, as I said, with no money, it would be maybe challenging too much. But what I think from, again, this Christian side, you know, from religious side, you don't need, or you're supposed not to do it as a luxury trip.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't mean you need to hurt yourself, but you need to survive. You need to not being, I don't know, too luxury.
Yeah.
Somehow.
And it doesn't matter.
So if you would go on a real budget, how much it would cost? Like real budget.
I don't know. You
Your
probably
guess.
could do it for 10 euros a night, like half the price of what I did.
Really?
I think so, if you really wanted to. But I kind of also liked having a proper bed to sleep in. And sometimes I sit in private albergues with nicer beds. At one point, I paid a couple years to have my laundry cleaned, like at a proper
also
place.
that.
Yeah, which you can also cut out. I'm just, why not? Also, packing. Take half the stuff you think you need and then remove that half, because you probably only need half of what you have pre-packed. Like one extra set of spare clothes to walk in, and then something to wear at the albergues. So last time I had a pair of shorts, a pair of long pants,
Yes.
2 pairs of underwear, 2 pairs of socks, and then an extra dress for staying at the albergues that I would also sleep in. Also, for the ladies, you might want to enjoy packing a dress, because there's something in your mind that feels very nice of you walk in like long dirty pants all day, but changing into a nice bright dress when you get to the albergues. I know it sounds silly, but for the mind it's actually really awesome. Yeah.
Okay. What else do you think you need to pack with you?
Different soaps. Like I had one soap which was hair soap, and I would also use that for cleaning my clothes and for washing my body and whatever. Like you really just need a shampoo and you're good.
But can you not find in albergues shampoos and everything?
No, not really. That's
Really?
it. No.
So
it's not that easy.
you need to.
Yes.
But you can buy it.
Exactly. You can also just buy it. The thing is, I have this 50 milliliter bottle that I just put my own shampoo over in, and then I just
That's what I'm asking.
as small as possible.
Probably I will not take it from home.
No.
I will just buy it.
I did, because I had a small flask for it already that was 50 milliliters. So then I knew that, okay, this is just like, so I have a shampoo. Yeah.
And of course you don't need to carry 1 liter.
No, 50
shower
milliliter.
gel, right?
That's it.
It would be crazy. What else? I mean, phone, of course. Some
Cash.
cash.
Most places, they don't accept cards, so you need cash.
Okay.
And that is a fine balance of drawing out money, so you don't have to worry about withdrawing money daily, but you don't want to have too much in case you meet an idiot who decides to steal your money,
What about that? About stealing and robbing and so on. I
haven't-
heard that in Spain they have some special rules. If you commit something like really bad against people, that's one fine. If you do something, you hurt peregrinos, or how we call it in English? Peregrino?
Pilgrims.
Pilgrim. Yeah. Pilgrim. I'm trying. Pilgrims, you get like fine 3 times more or something.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And that what actually makes it really safe to go, because Spain made really strict rules for or against these things.
But I never had an issue. I would also just leave my passport in my backpack, and then I would go explore the city I was in, and just leaving my passport, and I never had an issue with it. In hindsight, maybe that was a dumb idea, but it worked fine last time.
Probably.
Yeah. So I wouldn't recommend that, guys, but you can.
But
And then also blue card, so you're insured. Like the
Just
blue
in
health
case,
card,
like-
yeah. If you're a European citizen.
European, yeah.
And if you're not a European citizen, you should probably want to get insurance. I never had to use it, but better safe than sorry.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm still kind of, anxious a little bit, like how to live with all these people in one room, one thing. How to leave your things. I mean, if you want to take, I don't know, a phone, camera, whatever, something.
I had a fanny pack that I would take my phone and my wallet with me. 'Cause-
Every time you go, right?
Yeah.
I mean, shower.
Yes, then I would just like leave it outside the shower.
Mm-hmm.
Or when I had teamed up with someone that I really liked, we would shower in turns, and then one of us, like the rest, would stay back and watch the
Okay.
stuff. Yeah. But I never heard of anyone being robbed. Probably it happens, but in all the Albergues I stayed in, I never heard of anyone saying that someone robbed them. Because people who do a Camino,
They will not.
no, of course there will always be someone who behaves shitty, because we're humans and we tend to do that. But in general, I think that pilgrimage is not a place where you go to rob someone.
Probably not.
Hopefully it's a very humbling experience.
I mean, of course, there are some bad people, also some bad pilgrims, but it would be, for me at least, hard to believe that someone who was going on pilgrimage, even not for religious reasons, would make
Exactly.
some kind of. I don't believe. I'm not saying that all these people who are going the Camino, they are some kind of saint people
Of
or
course
enlightened
not.
or.
We are very flawed humans, because we're humans.
Yeah, but in general, what do you think? It's mostly good people.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm saying good, judging
Kind-hearted.
by your kind people.
Yeah.
What's the main reason we are going? If you would, I mean, you've been talking for so many people, right?
Yeah.
There's so many.
I think to discover that they can, and that they are more capable than they believe they are. It's really a chance to realize how huge your potential is. And then hopefully you take that with you when you travel back to your home country.
And little bit back to our men and women discussion. It's more men or women on the Camino?
I don't know. I actually think it's a bit more male than females. Also, most people are not in their 20s. That was a bit
Like old people.
Yeah, I think it was like 20% of the people I met were people in their 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as much young people. But then I also...
But it makes sense,
Yeah,
You don't want a fresh start when you are in 20s.
unless you do.
No, unless you do. But normally,
Yeah.
you are you are living right now in a fresh start.
Yeah.
Kinda. And also, you have more probably resources when you are older. And that kind of makes sense,
Yeah.
I think. What else? What you should take or you should not take with you?
When you buy a backpack, you don't necessarily need the smallest or the biggest. You need the one that sits right on your body. And the hip belt is the most important thing of the backpack. It's not as much the backpack itself, because you're not supposed to carry it with your shoulders. You're supposed to carry it with your hips.
Yeah.
So make sure that the hip belt feels really, really good on you. And when you go to the store, try to wear the clothes that you're gonna wear on your Camino, so you know how the hip belt feels on your walking pants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Any brands to suggest, or
That is so individual. You don't
there
know
are
until
so
you
many,
try.
right?
Yeah.
Because I'm still, I have this with Fox, the big one, and if I will decide to go without my
Yeah.
mask and so, I kind of need another. And I heard that ospreys are really.
Mine is Osprey
Yeah.
actually. But
And
that's
I heard
because
that
I love it.
So many people are
Yeah.
taking ospreys, so they should be good. I don't know.
Mine
That's
is
just my
awesome,
logic.
but it's awesome for my body. The thing is also because I'm so short, it also needs to be short up here, so I can also adjust it so it actually like swings a little bit. And so for my body, I barely feel it. You feel it if you train with it at home, you probably won't feel it on your Camino because you sort of go into your backpack and it goes into you. And then when you don't walk with it, it actually feels more strange than having it on.
How heavy is the bag in itself?
Mine is, the bag in and of itself, I think mine is like 1 kilo and 50 grams.
Okay.
But like with all of my stuff, where now I'm figuring out what I don't need, it's 6 kilos in total with all of my stuff in it. Yeah.
So I'm really thinking to get the light version and just to risk sleeping without
Yeah.
mask and snoring, It could be maybe easier, I think.
Yeah.
But on other hand, it's maybe not so easy because psychologically you also, I'm snoring, I'm disturbing people.
But remember that is your Camino.
Not
that is your
but
journey.
it's Veyer's Camino as well.
Yeah, you also gotta be considerate.
Yeah,
That is why people bring earplugs. Put that on your packing list. You definitely need earplugs. And also a book. I would think I bring a journal, but I also journal here at home. Like I love writing my diary, especially like what I do is I really love Taylor Swift. I think she's absolutely amazing. So I will put on Taylor Swift's music and then I'll just like write in my diary because she really inspires me. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm not writing something right now, but I'm kind of thinking to take something to write with. Maybe I will get
I just bring my
inspired
normal
or I don't know.
journal.
Because now I'm taking notes, but I'm taking notes on my phone,
And phone is awesome also on the Camino. Like modern technology is amazing. But there's something about when I go back and I have been journaling since I was 20. That's the past 6 years. And I love reading my journal from when I was 20 and living abroad and be like, wow, she was actually so cool, that person.
But yeah, that
Or I
also
improved
makes
so
sense.
much. Because, we forget when we just live inside our head all day. But going back and reading your old thoughts, and there's so much energy in those journals because it was the past.
Have you met someone who would go Camino kind of without technologies?
Actually,
Leaving everything and just
I
walking?
met a lady, well, I didn't meet her in person, but I gave a remote Reiki healing session to a lady who told me that she also want to do the north route from Bilbao, but she doesn't want to bring any technology. And I think that is so cool. That might be me in 10 years, but for now I really like being able to have my phone. So if everything sucks, I can call my parents and be like, everything hurts and I'm dying. And my dad can be like, it's okay, just walk.
Yeah, but also you feel kind of responsible, you have parents or kids or whatever. You need to have some connection to people who are staying at home. So it makes sense to have a phone.
Yeah.
But I really understand someone who
Just put it in your backpack when you're walking.
just check.
And switch it off. And then turn it on at the Albergues for like an hour. I did that I would set a timer for half an hour. So I would give myself half an hour to scroll through social media and call home and stuff. And then after that, I would just switch it off. But also, I would use it for photos. So I would put it in fly mode.
Exactly.
So there wasn't any reception, but I could use it as a camera.
Actually, for a few months ago, I don't know, maybe a bit longer, half a year ago, I really cancelled all the notifications. Like, not all, 90%. And now, if I'm getting on Facebook or whatever, it doesn't show notifications.
Yeah.
And it's so good. I can check Facebook wherever I want, not they want. They are not calling me anymore to check,
Exactly.
And to gain that power, it's small thing, but feels so good.
And it comes really naturally on the Camino. Because you just end up being present where you're at, and then it's not
I hope so.
important to check it.
I hope so.
Yeah.
And also many interesting people to meet. And have you tried to listen some, I don't know, audiobooks or podcasts or whatever on the
Yes,
Camino?
I did that, and it was
Okay.
awesome. And then sometimes I would walk in complete silence, but I remember one day it was raining and it was cold and it went up, an awful lot of up at some point. And so I put in actually Taylor Swift music, and then like Taylor Swift kind of was like pumping in my ears, and you know, she makes really awesome music, I think. So I just went like, okay, I got this, you know.
Okay.
You need to find what works for you. Don't discard listening to music on your Camino necessarily. If that is what gets you through, it's your journey and you're totally allowed to do so.
I'm kind of was thinking, you know, I really love when I'm going for a walk or whatever, gym. I mean, I'm listening books or podcasts a lot.
And so that's your journey.
Yeah.
And so that's awesome.
And
You do that.
I kind of think, is it a good idea? I mean, you can still listen for books and podcasts at home.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you shouldn't do that on the Camino because maybe you have more people to meet. I don't know. What do you think?
I was walking alone.
Maybe it's no time to be alone. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Then you just tell people, hey, I would like to walk alone now. If you go on your own, you're not obligated to follow anybody else because it's your thing.
But how you do that? I mean, look, you are walking now, right? If someone is coming to you and say, hi, or what? Or
Yeah. It's like, so the first time, the
it should
first
be
person
strange first few days, right?
No.
No?
It comes like this. I mean,
Really?
if you're like me, it does. But the thing is, I have a very easy time to talk to people. I'm a people person,
Me too. A
Yeah.
lot. Big time.
and that's awesome. So you'll find someone like this, I promise. The first guy I talked to was a guy from Spain, and that was when I was still in Portugal, and he didn't speak anything except Spanish. So he would talk to me in Spanish, I would kind of understand, and I would answer him in Portuguese. And then like a lot of gesturing and actually showing photos of what we meant. Like, so he would put out his phone and I would like type in horse and I would be like, oh, I'm a horse person. Because then I would show him a photo of a horse and be like, eu gusto. And then you communicate like that. And also, when you walk side by side with someone, it's way less intimidating than sitting across somebody and stuff like that. So and also when you get the
It's
body
easier
moving.
to open
Yes.
conversation.
And it's kind of like finding your Camino family. You don't
What do you
know
mean by
what
that?
it's like. It's the
Like
people that you walk
people
with.
you are walking
yeah.
with.
Like you just know that
But you
it's
don't walk
nice.
with them all the time, right? Or
No.
No?
I walked with mine for 5-6 days.
No,
Yeah.
that's it.
And then we met again in Santiago.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Because makes sense, right? If you even on a daily basis are going not the same amount of kilometers, you should meet at the end plus minus few days, right?
Yeah. And you meet the same people at some point. There was 3 ladies who were walking together. I met them every night on the way from Porto to Santiago. We ended up on the same albergues every night. It was so weird. It was 3 policies. They were so nice. But yeah. I didn't walk with them. I would meet them and then I would surpass them because I was way faster. Then I would meet them at the albergues at night.
But did you met some people where say like hi, like you kind of have an intention to talk and they just don't want to talk?
Yeah.
Yeah, also that.
Yeah. And then a couple of times that happened and they told me.
Does it
They
look
just
like?
tell you, like, and I also did the same to, I think it was one other person, because I was like in the zone and I wasn't listening to anything. And then this guy came up behind me and then he said, hey, and I was like, respectfully, I'm sorry, but I'm kind of just having a zen moment. Like, I don't feel like talking right now. And then you just kindly respect that. And he went on his way. And I didn't meet him on that albergues, but I met him on albergues the day after, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just can talk there or choose not to. And all of it is perfectly fine.
Is it not weird
No.
in some way?
Only in your head. In reality, no, because everybody is doing the same thing.
Yeah, and I totally understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that it will be days where you just don't
Yeah.
want to have maybe
Yeah.
interaction.
It was the day where I cried all day, by the way. That is why I didn't feel
Oh.
like that day where I spent the whole day crying about I don't even know what, but it was past relationship and it was so emotional. And then I wasn't feeling like talking to anyone.
But
so
it happened in the beginning or at the end of?
like fourth or fifth day.
Oh yeah, you said.
Yeah.
You said. That's maybe strange. I would expect that at the end somehow more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have heard people who does the Frances, usually it's when they cross the Pyrenees on the first day because it's so mentally and physically exhausting. That is when they have the whole crying thing. I don't know if there is a specific crying day on the Portuguese, but for me it was, yeah.
I broke my first day into 2 days.
Awesome.
I sacrificed a little bit on the way to make more kilometers to pay back for that split, but I was reading that it is really physically hard on the mountains, and
Yeah.
so I thought, yeah, okay, maybe it will make sense. But again, I have a plan, some from which city to which, and then so on. But if I will see that it's really hard to hold on it, I will kind of change it. I think.
Change it as you go, make adjustments, and in the end it's your journey and you'll end up exactly where you're supposed to, just not the way you imagine it. And
Most probably not the way you imagine, right?
most probably. Most likely.
If you would say what you imagined and what you got after, how different it is.
I was expecting, when I read Santiago, I was expecting to feel a lot of pride and a lot of joy and a lot of, yes, I fucking did it! Because usually humanity is all the way up here and
And you see on Instagram all these pictures. Yeah, you know.
But the photo that I do have of me in front of the cathedral that is taken right after I got there by this other really nice pilgrim, it's just me standing like this being like...
Apathic or...
No, but like I'm smiling in it and I'm happy, but it's not like there's like this big ass awesome pose. It's just like, okay, I'm here. And then you just feel empty in a good way, at peace. That's how I felt. And I'm hoping the second one will be the same.
But maybe you were supposed to feel that way.
Yeah,
You know,
probably I were.
probably. But what did you expect it? I mean, what was your imagination? You kind of, okay, you think, okay, I will come to Santiago, I will be happy and this and that. But all the journey, how happened and what happened on the journey, could you even guess that it will be that way as you thought, or
No. But everyday life tends to be the same, that you have an idea how your work day is going to go or how your family is going to behave, and then they don't behave like that because life happens. And
Yes,
the Camino
of course.
just way more reflects that back to you.
Is it nice after Camino to look after these? I mean, how much do you relate Camino on everyday life after the Camino?
In the beginning, not as much, but after a couple of months in my case, that is when it sort of hits. That, because it's so physically demanding, and then you go like, if I can do that, then this mental challenge is way easier than I thought it would be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was you tired a lot after you came home? I mean, you was
No, it was more of not knowing.
smashed. I don't know.
It was more a feeling of not knowing how I was supposed to feel. Because normally my feelings go up and down, but it was like this great reset. And then it was just like, okay, whatever happens, happens. I overcame that challenge. How difficult can it be to go back to school and to move? Yeah.
Was you proud of yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So much.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, and okay, you explained a little bit before your Camino from the outside what you got kind of feedback. What did you got after you did it? I mean, your parents, your friends, was they also proud of you, or they said, yeah, okay, she did it? I mean, what was their reaction, or what was the questions you got just after you came home, and you know?
A lot of how was it? Then a lot of would you do it again?
Also bad?
Yeah. Which obviously I will.
Yeah, now we know.
Yeah.
Now we know. What else?
But people weren't that surprised because I have always been a bit I have always admired people who are doing whatever they want to do. And so I try to do the same, even though it scares the living shit out of me. And so people were like, of course he's gonna do a Camino, and then of course he's gonna do a second one. But it's the same thing of course he's going to start home company when he's 26, and of course he's going to street schools, all of that stuff. To just try different things.
Can you see on someone in real life that you look at the person and say, you should probably go to Camino?
I think
Have you ever
everybody should.
Yeah, I know, but have you thought about that? Like, let's say if you are doing karate or you're doing something and why should you do that? I think you should do that. Do you have this kind of...
Maybe
or
not.
have you said to someone after you did the Camino? Like...
I have been thinking it, but I haven't told them. So what I will say instead is that maybe meditation would be good for you, or maybe you should try yoga. Because that is less extreme than suggesting a Camino. But in the end, a Camino is a walking meditation,
Yeah, because we can hate you if we don't like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a really nice way to wrap it up. That probably everyone should try it once.
Yes.
And maybe not whole month.
No.
Maybe just a short.
Just 18 days,
or
like I did
something.
first time.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. And buen camino.
Buen camino también.
También.
Open this gate.